program name is BSc Culinary Science. The subject name is Principle of Food Production 1. The subject code is SAT 111.
A greeting of the day, students. I'm Chef Ashok Thakur. Having been working with Chandigarh University last 5 years, I've done my BSc HMCT in CGC Landra. The CGC Landra is a second branch of the Chandigarh University. I have total 10-year experience, including academic and industry. So, today we are discuss with you all about the principle of food production. It is a basically first semester subject and which comprise all the basic knowledge of the subject. So without any delay, let's start with video.
As the food world is changing, it is vital to blend culinary arts and food science to compose and learn new techniques in food preparation. Right from the basics of kitchen operations to food presentation, a specialized program in BSc Culinary Science at Chandigarh University will foster a deep understanding of food processing that will allow you to prepare food that is creative, delicious, safe, and is nutritious.
BSc Culinary Sciences, a field which is ever growing. We here have a course in BSc Culinary Sciences at Chandigarh University. This course is for chefs, chef entrepreneurs, people who want to make their career in the fields of bakery, patisserie and kitchen. Our program of BSc Culinary Sciences have a unique feature to it. We here firmly believe that skills and knowledge can be imparted to the students, but passion has to be created within. We here have a mentorship program in which industry experts become mentors to the students. They not only come here to deliver expert lectures and guest talks, but also handhold our students. Our program also gives the student a chance to do research and analysis of how the spices and other condiments are used and how they can use a new innovative methods to cook the food.
Interact with experts from leading companies that visit campus regularly to train you in the field. Understand how culinary science enhances food quality in research and development kitchens, multi-unit operations, food production, fine dining establishments, small and large manufacturers, and more. Regular visits to 5-star hotel to enhance experiential learning, and get trained in 230+ top-notch international universities of USA, Canada, Australia, UK, and 20 other countries. Entrepreneurship training is an integral part of academic setup. Specializations areas that you could opt for while pursuing an academic degree in culinary science: food technologist, nutritional therapist, product process development scientist, quality manager, research scientist, life sciences, toxicologist, baking and pastry chef, restaurant chef, caterer.
Welcome to the Chandigarh University. My name is Thakur. I'm the executive chef here at the Hyatt in Chandigarh. Welcome to the university, and it's a stepping stone for you in your hospitality career. All the best to you, and see you in the industry.
Chase the flavors, taste and enrich learning experience in culinary sciences at Chandigarh University.
A learning object. The course aims to introduce the learn to the responsibility for the food safety. The second one is its aim to provide knowledge about hygiene in the kitchen. Now, the learning outcome. The students will learn able to understand how individually can take personal responsibility for food safety and food safety rules. The second one is students would be able to understand personal hygiene. The cause of view. The cause of view name is a principle of food production. The course code is SCT 111. The course type is program course. The is a credit course having 4 credits translating to 4 lectures per week. The course duration is stretched over 15 weeks with following objects. The course aims to provide knowledge about hygiene in the kitchen and itself. Further of the course focus on providing knowledge regarding food safety. The provide intensive input health and safety awareness of for catering and hospitality to provide incentive input regarding the classification of vegetable and fruits including cuts of vegetable. Today is our first unit topic is understand how individually can take personal responsibility for food safety. Food safety. The food safety refer to handling, preparing and storing food in a way of the best reduce the risk of individual becoming sick from foodborne illness. The food safety is a global concern that covers a variety of different areas of everyday life. Personal responsibility for food safety. The personal responsibility is a person who directly engages in the handling or preparation of the food. The food handler also includes staff who handle or deliver food. Personal responsibility for food safety must. The first one is having skill and knowledge relevant to their food duty. The second one is follow the protocol set by the food safety supervisor. The third one is take all responsible measures to maintain food integrity and keep customers safe. Food safety rules. What kind of rules do we use for food safety? So, first one is clean. Wash hand and surface often and the area where we will make the food should be clean. The second one is cook. Cook the proper temperature and checking with food thermometer. The third one is whenever you buy the vegetable, you should be first see the color of the vegetable. It's good or not. The second you should be check the vegetable is fresh or not. जब भी आप वेजिटेबल बाय करने जाते हो मार्केट में तो सबसे पहले उसका कलर चेक करते हो अकॉर्डिंग टू कलर वेजिटेबल गुड है या नॉट. तो सेकंड आप उसको चेक करते हो कि वेजिटेबल आपकी जो फ्रेश है या नहीं, इस पर भी डिपेंड करता है. नाउ द फोर्थ वन इज स्टोरेज. व्हेन यू स्टोर कुक और अनकुक फूड यू शुड सी द टेम्परेचर फॉर स्टोरिंग सुटेबल फॉर इट और नॉट. जब भी आप फूड को स्टोरेज करते हो कुक को या अनकुक को तो आप सबसे पहले उसका टेम्परेचर चेक करते हो कि उसके लिए वो ठीक है या नहीं. नाउ द फिफ्थ वन इज थॉइंग. व्हेनेवर यू रिमूव non-veg item from the deep freezer it is necessary to do thawing. जब भी आप डीप फ्रीजर से नॉन वेज आइटम निकालते हो तो सबसे पहले उसको थोइंग करना ज़रूरी है. अगर आप विदाउट थोइंग उसको कुक कर लोगे तो उसमें जम्स और बैक्टीरिया होंगे जो कि फूड को खराब कर देंगे जिससे कि वो हमारी बॉडी के लिए अनहाइजीनिक होगा. नाउ द लास्ट वन इज प्रिपरेशन. व्हेनेवर यू मेकिंग फूड यू शुड बी फर्स्ट वॉश यू हैंड एंड वेजिटेबल एंड वी शुड कम्प्लीटली कुक द फूड. आप जब भी फूड बनाते हो तो सबसे पहले अपने हाथ वॉश करते हो और उसके बाद अपनी वेजिटेबल को वॉश करते हो. और जो आपका वेजिटेबल है वो प्रॉपर कुक होना चाहिए. अगर आपका वेजिटेबल प्रॉपर कुक नहीं होगा तो वो उसमें जम्स रह जाएंगे जो हमारी बॉडी के लिए अनहाइजीनिक होगा जिससे कि हम बीमार पड़ जाएंगे. HACCP Hazard Analyze and Critical Control Point. Hazard Analyze Critical Control Point 2. Which one can product the good stuff into biological, chemical and physical condition that been recognized by worldwide system. The HACCP is a tool to detect the hazard and control. HACCP एक टूल है जो हमारे डेंजर जोन को डिटेक्ट करता है और उसे वहीं पे कंट्रोल करता है. The HACCP system can be used at all stages of the food chain, from food production and preparation process including packing and distribution. HACCP एक ऐसा सिस्टम है जो हमारी फूड चेन में प्रोडक्शन में और प्रिपरेशन में काम आता है जो कि हमारी पैकिंग और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में भी उसको काम करते हैं. HACCP itself was started in 1960 when the NASA asked Pillsbury to design the manufacture the first food for the space flight and not to be spoil the food and space flight. HACCP जो है 1960 में स्टार्ट हुआ था जब नासा ने फिश पेरी कंपनी को कहा था कि हमें एक ऐसा फूड चाहिए जो कि स्पेस लाइफ में भी हमें काम आए। HACCP principle. The HACCP has 7 principles. The first one is conduct hazard analysis. The second one is critical control point. The third one is critical limits for each critical control point. Then the fourth one is critical control point mentoring requirement. Now the fifth one is verification process. Now the sixth one is establish procedure for the ensuring the HACCP system is working as intending. Now the seventh one is establish record keeping procedure. The first principle is conduct a hazard analysis. We are divided into three parts: microbiological hazard, physical hazard, the chemical hazard. The microbiological hazard. Those hazards can be through fine chemical, cannot be seen from eyes, like bacteria, virus. The second one is physical hazard. Anything needle had come to food served during preparation. Now the third one is chemical hazard. The microbiological that come through chemical like pesticides. The second principle is identify critical control point, CCP. A critical control point is a point through which while the food served under the temperature zone is 41 Fahrenheit to 135 Fahrenheit and the convert to Celsius 5 Celsius to 57.2 Celsius per hour. If the food reheat for 15 seconds, that comes temperature zone 160 Fahrenheit convert to Celsius 73.9 Celsius for poultry and soap. The some temperatures are decided by HACCP plan. Those are considered specific timing as well. For example, microwave cooking is also good for 2 minutes. The point is mentioned which food is good for which temperature for cooking as per timing. The third principle is critical limit. After watching this factor, we decide the critical limit and depend on timing, temperature, humidity, water activity, physical dimension. The fourth principle is critical control point mentoring requirement. It is actually checking the food is proper cooked or not. At the point the temperature or timing is accurate for the food or not. The two type of mentoring, continuous and non-continuous. The continuous means a defined meter fixed in that check or monitor the temperature is right or not. इसमें जो आपका मीटर होगा वो फिक्स होगा, वो ऑटोमेटिक ही टेम्परेचर को चेक कर लेगा कि फूड के लिए ठीक है या नहीं. नॉन कॉन्टिन्यूस मीन चेक आफ्टर एवर 3 to 4 hours. नॉन कॉन्टिन्यूस में आपका मीटर जो होगा वो फिक्स नहीं होगा, आपको 3 या 4 घंटे के बाद उसको चेक करना पड़ेगा. The fifth principle is verification process. The plan pursued is been running through the process of HACCP or not. अब जो हमारा प्रोसेस चल रहा था वो HACCP के थ्रू चल रहा है या नहीं, वो इसमें हम चेक करेंगे. The second one is sampling of microbiological and chemical products. अब इसमें हम सैम्पलिंग करेंगे माइक्रोबायोलॉजिकल की और केमिकल प्रोडक्ट की. Now the third one is auditing of all the point and taking proper measurement that all the information had been noted and recorded. अब इस समय हम जो प्रोडक्ट है हमारा उसका मेजरमेंट करेंगे और उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन को नोटेड करेंगे. The sixth principle is establish procedure for the ensuring of the HACCP system is working as intending. Now, ensure that the plant do what they were designed to do. That if they are successful in ensuring that production of a safe product, the plant will be required to validate their own HACCP plan. The verification pursuit may including such activity as review of HACCP plan and CCP record, critical limit and analyze. The seventh principle is establish record keeping pursuit. The HACCP regulations require that all the plan maintain certain documents, including its hazard analysis and written HACCP plan, the record documenting and the monitoring of critical control points, the critical limits, verification, activities, and the handling of pursuit deviation. Personal hygiene. The personal hygiene that is above depend on these things: the uniform, apron, gloves, shoes. The uniform, wear a clean uniform every day and only put it on at the workplace. The second one is apron. The different full aprons should be worn at different preparation situations like seafood and vegetables. Now the third one is gloves. The different disposable gloves to be used when handling raw and cooked food. Now the fourth one is shoes. Wear only non-slip, full cover shoes. Personal hygiene. If our personal hygiene is not good, then it is not good for us and it is not good for others also. The personal hygiene depends on these things. The personal hygiene is related to cleanliness, that is more of your body, like take a bath every day, brush off your teeth on regular basis, wear cleaning threads. The good personal hygiene is one of the most effective way of the protect our sleep and others from many illness. The wash your hand regularly, especially before preparing of eating food and after going to the toilet. When you sick, you should be cover yourself to protect others so that you do not get contact into the other. Proper haircut, daily clean shave, daily take shower, proper hair comb. The personal hygiene depends on body odor, hand washing, bad breath, care of head and hair. Hand washing. The most infection, especially cold and cough, when we put our unwashed hands, which have germs on them to our mouth. Depend on after using the toilet, before making or eat food, after handling dogs and other animals, if you have been around someone who is coughing or has a cold. A body odor. The body smell are caused by the number of factors working in combination, including the first one is chemical in sweat, including pheromones, which are made by the body and sexually attract other people. The action of bacteria that live on the skin and feed on the dead skin cell and sweat. The unwashed clothes such as underwear and soap. The second above personal hygiene depend on the bad breath. The good dental hygiene includes regular brushing and flossing. The bad breath can be caused by disease of the teeth, germs, mouth, such as infection. The most people have bad breath the first thing in the morning because saliva is not made while you are asleep. The some food can cause bad breath, including garlic and onion. The mouthwash, mouth spray and flavored chewing gum can make your breath smell better for your while. But if you have a health problem in your mouth, you need to see your dentist.
Welcome to Part 2, Health and Hygiene. What is biological contamination? How does food worker health affect safety? What should you do when you're sick? And what does good personal hygiene mean? Find the answers to these and other important food safety questions, including proper hand washing and when it's important, how to avoid bare hand contact with ready-to-eat foods, glove use, and how personal habits can affect food safety.
Of all the types of hazards that can arise from unsafe food handling practices, biological contamination is the most common. Germs are everywhere, and some of them make us sick. It's those harmful pathogens that cause foodborne illness.
Food worker health is one of the most important factors to preventing foodborne illness. It's simple. When you're sick, don't work with food. Germs can easily be spread if you're experiencing flu-like symptoms, jaundice, or other illness.
If you're sick, stay home. Remember the 24-hour rule. Vomiting, diarrhea, fever with sore throat, or jaundice, stay home for 24 hours from the last symptom.
If my employees are sick, I tell them to go home and come back when they feel better. It's not worth the risk.
Besides being aware of your own health and knowing that when you're sick, you pose a risk to the public, being aware of your personal hygiene is another aspect of avoiding contaminants in the food you serve. In fact, food workers with good personal hygiene save lives. Following proper hand washing protocol by washing your hands the right way and at the right times, keeping fingernails trimmed for easier cleaning, wearing hair restraints and proper work clothing, and covering cuts and burns with bandages and gloves, in addition to not working while sick. These are all ways that hygiene prevents the spread of germs in the kitchen.
Hand washing is something we all learned at a very young age. But if you want to work as a food handler, it's important to relearn this task in the proper way that complies with the health department guidelines. But first, let's review when it's important to wash up.
Wash your hands throughout the day, even when hands look clean, to keep germs off your body and the food you prepare. Always wash before you begin food preparation, or if you've been contaminated by exposure to potential germs. Contamination can be caused by using the bathroom, touching one's face or nose, handling raw meat, fish, or poultry, sneezing, coughing, or blowing one's nose, handling garbage or dirty dishes, handling animals, or using chemicals, or after taking a break, eating, or smoking. If you aren't sure if a wash is necessary, wash anyway, just to be safe. Proper hand washing is a 6-step process that requires a hand washing sink with hot and cold running water, soap, and paper towels or other single-use drying method. Step 1. Get hands wet to help the soap work. Step 2. Apply soap and scrub. Remember to pay attention to your entire hand when washing. Step 3. Rub your hands for a full 20 seconds. This is how long it takes for soap to kill germs. Step 4. Scrub the backs of your hands and between your fingers, a common breeding ground for bacteria. Scrub your forearms. They frequently touch food prep surfaces, and utensils. Step 5. Rinse hands to send the soap suds and germs down the drain. Rinse for about 5 seconds to fully remove the soap. Step 6. After rinsing, dry hands and forearms with disposable paper towels or an air blower. Don't use cloth towels or dish rags, which can stay damp and recontaminate your hands. It's important to know that hand sanitizers may be helpful on clean hands, but are not substitutes for hand washing. In fact, in some cases, double hand washing may be required. Always remember that hand washing is the most important food safety tool to get rid of the germs that make people ill. When in doubt, wash. But germs can remain on your hands even after washing. That's why it's important to prevent bare hand contact with ready-to-eat food by using utensils such as tongs, scoops, deli papers, or single-use gloves.
Focus on minimizing bare hand contact. Utensils, tongs, tissue paper, these are all acceptable when handling ready-to-eat foods. So you don't need to glove up as often as you think. When you do use gloves, remember it is required to wash your hands before and sometimes after proper glove use.
Ready-to-eat foods are those served without additional washing or cooking to remove germs. They include washed produce that's eaten raw, such as sliced fruit, salads, and garnishes. Foods that will not be cooked, such as sandwiches, sushi, and deli salads. Bakery or bread items, such as breads, cakes, pies, and tortilla chips. Ice that may be used in drinks, or foods that have already been cooked. Gloves can be tricky because if a food handler thinks they're using gloves correctly and they aren't, they can put the public at an increased risk by contamination. Gloves are there to protect food from germs, not your hands from the food. So remember to change them often and never wash or reuse them, especially between working with raw and ready-to-eat food. When you're done with them, be sure they go in the trash and wash your hands afterwards. When it comes to health and hygiene, as a defense against foodborne illness, it's important to realize that personal habits affect food safety. You may not eat, drink, or use any type of tobacco in food prep areas. This is to prevent spills and reduce contamination. Use hair restraints that are intended to keep hands out of hair and hair out of food. Hair must always be restrained when working around food or in food prep areas. Hair restraints include hairnets, barrettes, ponytail holders, and tight braids. Long beards must also be restrained. Fingernails must be trimmed for easier cleaning. If nail polish or artificial nails are worn, you must wear gloves when preparing all foods, not just ready-to-eat foods. Rings, watches, bracelets, and all other jewelry on arms or hands must be removed during food preparation. Wedding rings may be worn if they're covered with the glove when the food worker is preparing food. Personal items like medicine, coats, and purses must be stored away from food, dishes, and linens. Let's review Part 2, Health and Hygiene. We learned that biological contamination is caused by germs on our bodies and in our environment, and that if you are sick, don't come to work. Follow the 24-hour rule and check in with your person in charge about your symptoms. Follow proper hand washing steps at the correct times to avoid biological contamination. Avoid bare hand contact with ready-to-eat foods. Use gloves to protect food, not your hands, and wash before and after glove use. Be aware of your own personal habits and hygiene as a defense against foodborne illness.
Dear students, the today topic question for you. The first question is, what are the 3 food safety rules? Now, the second question is, what are the responsibility of individually in relationship to food safety? Now, the third question is, what is the most important responsibility for food handler? Now, the next question is, what is the personal hygiene and why it is important? Now, the next question is, what is basic hygiene? Now, the next question is, what is HACCP food safety? Now, the last question is, what are the 7 steps of HACCP? Now, the textbook. The first book is Theory of Cookery. The author is Krishna Arora. Now, the second book is Food Production Operation. The author is Pravinder Singh Wali. Now, the reference book is Book of Ingredients. The author is Eridan Valley. Now, the next book is Modern Cookery. The author is Sangam Flip. Assessment pattern. The parameter, weight, age of marks, all codes, acceptance, architecture. So let's see the first Henley test, the 12 mark. The second Henley test, the 12 mark. The element 1 is 4 mark. The element 1 is your online cues. The element 2 is 3 mark. The element 2 is your assignment number 1. The element 3 is your 4 mark. The element 3 is your assignment 2. Now, the element 4 is 3 marks. The element 4 is your surprise test. Now, the attendance for 90% and above. If your attendance is 90 above, then you will get extra 2 marks. And the end of the semester of theory exam is 60 marks. This is the reference link where the student can find the notes into the link.
I hope you understand about the personal responsibility of food safety. We will meet again with the new topic very soon. So till that time, stay safe, stay home. Thank you.